Hello, welcome. Everyone, welcome to Stepfans and Chill, the morning show with a late night feel. Hey, I'm Mikey Winfield, you guys, and what a special day. It's special because we're having it. We're alive. Everybody's not doing that. And it's popular right now to want to do it, stay alive, man. This is a good season. We got to see what's about to happen in this world because everything's changing so fast in front of our eyes. I decided to flip it today, you guys. I didn't want to clash with the curtain too bad, so I made it pop a little more. So I pulled out something a little, saucier. Because that's how I'm feeling today, man. I'm feeling very saucy. I want to have a saucy time. And I'm doing this because I got to take my mind off. Sometimes that's what the purpose of this is, to take your mind off of life sometimes because it's so wild. Because what is wrong with these kids? People think having children when they're young is the hard part. That's the easy part. That's the fun part. You just feed them, drop them off, take them to a little league sport. That's the fun part. But then they become old, and I hate to say, no, I don't, stupid. Think about you at age 18 and 19. They get dumb, and it gets frightening because now they have more permission to do things on their own, and they think they know everything. And they don't. And you always got to remember that was you. That was you at a certain point in your life. I get it, man. If you're familiar with step, man, things are, this is what I got to say. Listen, I don't want to call you stupid. I want kids. If you like 17 through 21, your parents love you. Trust them. They've already done everything you about to do. You don't have to go get locked inside of a parking garage because you don't have a debit card or money to get out of it and then sleep there overnight. All right? Yes, I'm speaking from experience. These kids is wildin', man. If your oil light is on, don't drive to Anaheim. All right? We love you, and that's why we saying these things. I had an engine burn out on me a long time ago. I thought I could just put any amount of oil in it. It didn't work. The engine started smoking, and I had to rebuild the engine with money I didn't have, and then my dad took my car because he had to pay for it. He still has it. That was like 20 years ago. You can trust us. Trust your parents. Even the one that don't live with you. You could trust that parent too. That doesn't make them a bad person or her a bad person. It's just the relationship don't work sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta get away. You gotta just go your own way. Maybe the parent's purpose in life was to just have you and move. It wasn't to stay in the relationship. Trust your parents. And a lot of you are probably smarter than your parents because brains evolve. But that doesn't mean that your evolved brain can top experience. It's something about experience, all right? Especially when you can't pay your own bills. I'm tired of that. Yo, it's crazy growing up poor. And then your kids don't grow up poor, and you see a completely different mentality. And it's difficult because now you don't know what to do. It's like, damn, they don't even understand what it is to have without, which was the plan. You was like, I don't want them to feel like I felt. But then it was different. When I ain't have it, I was like, oh, I got to go get it. I'm about to figure it out. I don't need everybody else figuring it out for me. So that made me the ambitious side. But then the kids that got it, they just like entitled, hitting you up because they stuck on some stuff you told them not to do. I don't have an answer, but it looks like right now it's generational. And these things skip a generation And it looks like all of our current kids are going to grow up poor. Yep, without. All of our kids are going to be broke for the next 20 years. And then they're not going to be able to take care of their children because I'm not helping. I'll coach the team. That's it. I'm not supporting you. That's on you. I told you to build a career. You had ample time to do it, and you still do. You know, you can start anything in life when you don't. Now, parents. Listen, parents, I don't want to fault you completely for this, but if you never were taught the inability of how to love, figure it out. I'm talking to you sociopathic parents. Those of you that don't know how to love. Go to therapy. Listen to your children. Sometimes they're calling out for help and you so cold and dry. You don't have to be that way. Let's read on sociopaths. So if you're unfamiliar, this is a man or a woman, or nowadays, a man and a woman, who cares only about himself, herself, which kind of contradicts the whole parenting thing, because you can't care about the baby if you only care about yourself, all right? Sociopaths out here creating little monsters, all right? It's a way to spot sociopathic behavior, all right? It's a lack of attachment. And if you have that, I don't know what to say. Hopefully your partner doesn't have it. But this needs to be figured out, because when you grow up without the love, man, that's scary. That's a scary human that we are putting out into the world, all right? When you dismiss your kids, when you, no, attempt to listen. Even in their peak of stupidity, even in their dumbness. That's what they're supposed to be. They haven't lived. They don't know. The expectations, the harsh demands. It's difficult not to do, but you can't base everything on how you were. It's so easy to do that. Like when I was 19, I had my degree. Well, it's a different day. And to put all that pressure on them, it's not always helping. Neglect. You cannot neglect your kids. Sometimes you have to put your own life to the side and just prioritize them. You made them. You know? You're the reason that person's here. You got to take some type of credit for that at the least. All right. I feel like we could solve a lot of this if we just screen parents early on for being sociopaths. It just needs to be a little documented multiple choice tests. You know, A and C. If this was to happen, would you do this? Would you love your kid? And it was like, nah. It's like, hey, maybe we should come in and swoop the kids then. Maybe we should just take them, you know? Maybe we should consider that. It's just dark, man, when you see these things happening and they turn to you as your friend and like, he doesn't love me. And it's like, wow, no, he doesn't. It's like, I want to be there for you. But man, that's a scary trait and it is out there. So listen, if you know that you lack love, figure it out, man, and make that effort. Like we said, them kids, they didn't ask to be here. You was out at the club one night. She was thick. And you was like, man, I'm gonna try and get it. You got it. Was happy that night. And then, bow, kid in the world. You made. Kid didn't ask to be here. You know? So, it's on you. Solely on you. Even though it takes a village, don't rely on a village because you're supposed to be the king of the village. So keep that in mind. And now, You guys, we are jumping into this is a fun part for me. You know, because people are struggling out there. People are struggling in their relationships. And I'm glad. I feel like I am qualified, as I say, to help anyone in a relationship. Why? Because I have struggled. So thank you for writing in, man. Even if I don't have an answer, getting it read aloud might have people comment, and you might get reasons. My first writer is a lady. Ooh. And she's blunt, man. I like it that I don't get to necessarily pre-screen these, but this just comes off the gate. So she says, I'm having an affair off and on. And she says, my partner has seemingly turned to God since our first time hooking up. It seems to have stuck now more. When I've looked at his social media, he's posting Bible verses. And last night I saw him wearing a shirt giving all the glory to God. Wow. You know what? I don't say this a lot, writer, but I would like to meet you. Any vagina that's going to make me find God, I want to be in it. You got the vagina that's going to make me find Jesus? That is the path. Let me in. Oh, man. You know, love is blind. I don't need to know how you look. If I know that vagina is that powerful, it's going to get me to Jesus. I don't think you're doing your duty. I don't think you're doing your duty for how you could save the world. You need to get this out way more. Now, this is probably not the advice you were looking for, but this is the advice you deserve. Hold on, there's more. Yet Saturday night, after weeks of no contact, I see he's viewed my IG stories. Oh, well, maybe he wants to meet Jesus again through you. You are the pathway. Wow, that's all you had? That's all good? That was crazy. Seriously, though. Imagine that, though, man. Imagine, like, making love that great. You know, a lot of people go, oh, my God. But what about, I want to meet God? What? That's enlightening. And maybe you know this. Maybe you were just writing the flex. Maybe that's what this letter was about. Maybe you don't really need help. Now that I think about it, maybe you were like, I want everybody to know, like, I had somebody find Jesus after, you know. Maybe that was it. And go along with my first advice. Give it out more. All right, let's see. Ooh, another woman. All right. She goes, I have never asked a question like this. However, Mike, I trust you and have heard your words. Don't ever give another man that type of, I don't know. Don't even compliment men like that. You know what dudes do when they receive that? Do you? I'm not here. I'm not telling. I'm just, all right. Recently, I found my partner had looked up escorts in our local areas. At first, I thought he may have clicked on something on a porn website by accident. You know, that can happen. However, my gut decided to look deeper, so I did a search on escorts in his history. Wow, women. Women love searching laptops. You love searching phones and stuff. Oh, you love it. And in September last year, after a disagreement, what? She went to December of last year? That's more than a search. This is all a violation. But damn, you went into September of last year. You weren't doing that because you was looking for something. You found enjoyment. You was having fun. You was all in his search history, knowing how he thinks, what he looks up. That's disrespect. That's not love right there. That was selfish. After a disagreement, he started a 4-month, almost daily search or escort, some days more than others. And I even found that he had looked up map locations in the same suburbs of the escorts, but hasn't used directions to get there. Oh, wow. What was the disagreement? What kind of disagreement is going to make you look up escorts for 4 straight months? What fight was that? Please, you are leaving important stuff out. This is the argument I want to see. I want to see when you like, oh, it's like that? Well, forget it then. He walks away and looks up escorts for 4 straight months. Yo, that's powerful. That is, I don't know what it's about. It takes a specific person to do this, but that's really diabolical. He was like, okay, that's how you feel? I got it from here. I confronted him, and he said his brother, who was a chronic cheater, must have used his phone. The biggest lie ever. Somebody must have had my locked phone and went on my phone and used it for porn. That doesn't happen. No one does that. Because if you touch someone else's phone and you're a person who looks up porn, you wouldn't touch anyone else's phone because you feel like it's disgusting because you know they probably looked up porn on it. You don't even want to touch other people's phones. You know how many germs is in other people's phones? They're in their bathrooms in their empty homes looking up porn all day on these devices. Other people's phones, what's that? OPP is disgusting. He said his brother had asked to use his phone a few times. At first, I believed it. No, you didn't. But then I saw the amount of times escorts had been searched in the times of the day, and it could not be possible unless his brother used his password for Google and did it from a home on a device. That led me to check the devices. Man, you are checking the hell out of some devices. Damn, you got access to everything? Yo, chill out. Just leave them. You have every ounce of proof you want right there. I guess you just want to talk about it, which is, I guess you should, and you can get the heartbreak verbally, but it happened. That led me to check the devices linked, and there was no unusual devices, so I confronted him again and told him this time to not treat me like an idiot. Ooh, I wonder, did he come up with a bigger lie? Let's see. Oh, he came clean. And he said that he was only using for porn purposes, and he had never acted on it. I have read this is a thing. So why did he lie? Why does anyone lie? His response was he was embarrassed, which is true, and also a coward and probably not wanting to deal with it. Why else do people lie? It's shame attached. He told me he would never cheat on me. When we got together, I told him up front that I've had some pretty bad past relationships, and that trust is a very important thing for me. So now I'm in limbo whether I should believe him. He had also been on Craigslist a couple times too. This fool's wilding out. Hey, look. Oh, whoa, there's more. We don't live together, but have been committed to each other for a year and a half. A year and a half. That's it. That's not a relationship. You don't even live together. You guys are just, I don't know, you're like pen pals that contact each other often. Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you this, but, and look at this. I didn't share this. She says she's 48, he's 53. If he's that old, that's who he is. I can't believe a 53-year-old is lying about escorts and porn. Just be upfront. I mean, you 53. That's what you do. That's what you do at this age. Hey, man, get some escorts. And good luck. Pray each time. because you gonna catch it. This man probably got all types of diseases, man. There's no unless. He got it. Hey, I hope that helped. And listen, my advice is never to make a person feel better. My advice is just to be as straight as possible. And this is who you're dealing with, and you don't have to deal with it. You can move on, or you can be lonely. And who wants to be lonely? So just deal with it until you find someone else. All right. Hey, I don't know if you know how I feel about this, but the holidays are upon us. And I'll tell you, even though it's a little darker than it's been in the past, holiday season is my favorite time of the year. I love sitting together with family. I love the festive things that happen. I love the holiday decorations on homes and in stores. You know what I really love? I love when you go in like the grocery store and they got the holiday music playing. People are nicer. It's just a good vibe. And it's funny that this good vibe is only a month and a half. Tops. I mean, it starts a little before Thanksgiving, ends after Christmas, New Year's, and then it just goes away. And maybe it needs to only be that short so we have something to look forward to. Because the rest of the year, you're assholes. You know who you are. It's like once we get to like May, it's like I don't even want to be around you. You just mean, mad, pissed off. We should bring back holiday music just for June. Like, what if that just popped up at the store for like, I don't know, those 30 days? And people are like, yeah, there we go. I bet you it would change the world. I bet you it would change the vibes in the world. And you don't have to listen to me, but one day they're going to do it, and then they're going to say Mike was right. But that's because I want the world to be a better place, and everyone doesn't feel like that. But, this is what comes with the holidays, too. It's time to eat. I love it. You get to just eat as much as you want. You just eating all the good stuff. And now you got to go to the people's houses that make the good stuff, And it's messed up, too, because, I know a lot of you, you're married now, and now you don't know which side of the family to hang out with. That's always difficult. Because now you got to split time between the holidays. Like, we were at your family's house this year, but your family doesn't like me. And now you're fighting over that. I've been through it all. And then it turns, eventually, you're just going to give up. You're going to quit. And you're just going to be like, whatever. I don't care what we do. And then every holiday season, you're just like, are you making yams? All right, that'll be enough to make me happy. I guess I'm good. As long as you make the macaroni and cheese or something. I don't have to see my uncle, I guess I grew up with him, He's still alive for now, so, whatever. But there's so many conversations that need to happen. Conversations need to happen before you're married, and it should be a long list. It should be, how are we going to raise these kids? What schools are they going for? Whose home are we hanging out for the holidays? Do your family even celebrate the holidays? You know what? You know where I'm at with it now? Especially when it comes to, let's just say, a Christmas. Don't get sucked into having to buy gifts. If you're going into debt to buy gifts, that's no way to live. You need to talk to the kids, man, and make it about the holiday and less about the gift giving. I thought it was about sharing special time and being together instead of how much money you spending. Everyone's so entitled because they're watching these commercials and they're like, oh, I'm supposed to get stuff. And that's what people looking for. They looking to receive. And it's tough when you in school. When you in school, whew, growing up in Baltimore, that was the worst, but I only knew one way. You go back to school, and everybody got new stuff. And you just got what you could get. And that's tough, man. People's opening their lockers. They got new coats, the fresh pair of Timberlands. And you know what they would do, man? I had my friend, man, I remember this dude, Steve, man, black dude. And man, he felt bad for me. And I remember, because he looked in my locker when we had just finished gym. He looked in my locker just to see if I had new kicks. And he was like, oh, man. Nah, man, it's cool, man. And I could tell, I saw it. I felt the whole conversation. It was a very dark conversation because he was talking to me. His locker was next to mine. He kind of just glanced over and he was just looking to see if I had new shoes. And I didn't. I had the old ones. And there wasn't no new ones at the house. I didn't get new shoes for Christmas. And he was cool about it. Even though I knew what he was doing, because he had on some fresh Reebok classics. His was all white, had the little gray trim at the bottom. Everybody was wearing them. I wanted a pair. But, I had to wear my old shoes because we wasn't rolling like that. It's funny now. It's not. I don't know. That shouldn't even be trauma because if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. But that's the problem with gift giving. If you got it, do whatever you want. But if you don't, man, make the holiday about being together and sharing time with loved ones. Even if you can't afford the best meal, you can eat something. You eat every day, don't you? Now, hey, you know who you are. If you're listening, everybody got the uncle. This fool drink too much every single holiday and do the same thing. It's about, 2 hours in, and he's just start cussing somebody out. You know this going to happen every time. Man, why we keep inviting him? He's bringing this negative vibe unless you just look forward to it. Otherwise, stop inviting him because he going, hey, is it still at Auntie house this year? Tell him no. He do the same thing. It start off real cool. He funny. And then the alcohol hit him different. And then you see him, his face twitch. And he's like, and then he's just mad. And now he's talking shit about all the kids and all the family members ain't doing stuff right. And then it's an hour later. And he's like, if y'all. And then after he caused all the trouble, he'll fall asleep right on the floor. Right on the floor on the holidays. And we just let this go every year? No. So why? Stop inviting them. Grow, change the tradition, unless you secretly look forward to that. There's a lot of us that's just like, man, that's kind of cool when you do that every year. I only get to see it 1 year, so, let Unc come over here and go crazy. Maybe that's the thing, but hold on. I had some more important notes. We are coming upon a new year. They hated on you last year for making resolutions. They were like, why people do that every year? And then they only do it until February. Listen, if you want to create a goal you're not going to live up to, do it. Don't let other people dictate how you want to start the new year. It's good to start off the new year fresh. It's cool going to the gym for 3 weeks. It's cool eating healthy for those 2 weeks. Maybe those 2 weeks are helping you, even though you're going to give up. Maybe you can always look back and it's like, if I did it for 2 weeks, I can do this again for 2 weeks in April and maybe 2 weeks in September. Don't let people judge you and tell you not to make resolutions. That's what the new year is for. It's for starting off strong and great and giving up. And maybe you don't. Who knows? Maybe you don't. But this is what I would like to wish everyone. I like to wish all of you prosperity. And it doesn't just happen. You got to put in the work. All right? You're going to make it. Only if you put in the work. These things are not just going to happen. And that's the reality of it. Stop waiting for people to hand you something. Stop waiting for people to give it out. You gotta go get it. So go get it. And let's do this, man. Before I close, man, I'm really thankful for all of you. Yeah, I'm thankful for those of you who have written in. I'm thankful for those of you who have viewed and shared. Those of you to go to my website, bigassteeth.com, and sign up to be Stepfans. It goes a very long way. And I'll see you on the road and in person. And this is really great that we get to share this time together. So don't take anything for granted.